The very minute I found out about you, I was filled with so much joy. I couldn't wait to meet you. Carrying you within me is an absolute honour. Each time you kick or move within me, I'm filled with so much excitement. You are so precious and the greatest addition to our family. Hi Diamonds, welcome back. Happy New Year. It's good to be back. I do feel a little bit nervous, so bear with me. It's been a minute, it's been a long minute, but it does feel good to be back on YouTube. As you can tell from the title of the video, we have since had another pregnancy, since having Ariel. Yeah, this video is just questions regarding my pregnancy with our baby number 2. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. These questions came from Instagram, so I put it out on Instagram and I'm just going to work through the questions. I've picked out a few that I'm going to answer and I've not really rehearsed it or anything, so we're just going to have a chat. And yeah, so grab a cup of tea, water, whatever floats your boat. I've got some water. Let's get straight into it. Let's mention I have had baby's just a few weeks old as I record this. I'm officially a mum of 2, guys. Like, I actually can't believe it. I'm like, whoa, God is so good. Let's get into the pregnancy questions. And I also feel it's a good time to actually do this Q&A now because I've been through the pregnancy, so I can let you know everything here because pregnancy is come to an end. Like, I've done it, and let's answer questions. Oh gosh, do I sound nervous, guys? Worst symptoms this time round. So I have to say the worst symptoms for me come literally right at the end of pregnancy. So both in this pregnancy and my last pregnancy. The last 2 weeks, awful. Anyway, the worst symptom for me by far. So one was right at the end, so from 36 weeks on, I had tingling lips. Honestly, I told my midwife was like, I don't really know. I've not really heard of this before. And I was like, yeah. It's weird because when I gave birth to Ariel, I had tingling lips. Like, I remember once, I think it was the night of giving birth to her, I was literally like practically in tears for a bit because my whole body just started aching and my lips were just tingling when I had Ariel. But in the second pregnancy, literally, as soon as I hit 36 weeks, and it would only happen at night. It's really bizarre. Like, literally, I'll be in bed, maybe like about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I would literally, if I'm not sleeping yet, I would feel it. Or if I'm already sleeping, I'll just wake up and my lips would just be, even just talking about it now, it's like, it brings back bad memories, but they would just tingle. But it was the most uncomfortable, like, tingling ever on my lips. And then, and I would do everything to try stop them. Like, I would put heat, like, literally just like get a face cloth, put heat on it, everything. Like, literally the only thing I read mouthwash helps. I'd literally rinse my lips in mouthwash. Anyway, I did everything I could. I get rid of it and it would last like about an hour and then it would just go. But it was really weird. Anyway, so that was one. And the second one was just like achy legs. So my legs would swell, they would just be achy, literally from week 36. I think by the time I got to week 37, I'd literally just sit and like elevate my legs. Like, otherwise I would walk and they would just swell, I'd be in pain, and I was just literally over the pregnancy at that point. But literally, as I said, I don't get any of these symptoms until literally week 36 onwards, and it's like really, really bizarre because that happened on both pregnancies. Like, everything absolutely fine until week 36. So current cravings. So I guess at the time of posting this, I was sort of my 3rd trimester and my absolute craving was just sweet stuff. It's really weird. Like, I just wanted to eat sweet things. So there's this cake from Sainsbury's, and I didn't really have time to bake during this pregnancy. Even Tunde knew, literally would go out and get me this cake. I was like obsessed with this cake from Sainsbury's. So that was my biggest craving. I literally just have that. And it had to be with a cup of tea. Like, oh, I'd literally have a lemon tea with it. And obviously towards the end of the pregnancy, I would have it with raspberry leaf tea. It was just, oh, heavenly. And also like shortbread biscuits. If I didn't have the cake, then shortbread biscuits. Those two were like the biggest craving. And the thing is, I just wanted my cake. So yeah, that's definitely a big craving. But I didn't get any of those funny cravings when people say like they have a craving for like soap, or they have a craving for like something just really random like chalk or something. I didn't have any of that. Please tell us your 1st, 2nd and 3rd trimester symptoms. Okay, so let's get into this. So honestly, like, going back to what I said, I had a great pregnancy. So I didn't have too many symptoms, but I do recall a few symptoms which I've like listed here. So I'm just 1st trimester. I remember just feeling extremely tired. And that was a major thing. Like, I would literally finish work. Thankfully, I was working from home. And I got into this routine where I literally worked like 8 till 4 at the time. And this was at my previous company before I moved jobs. So I literally worked like 8 till 4 p.m. And then 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. I would nap. So I would never come downstairs until it was 5 p.m. because I was just like, because otherwise I wouldn't function that evening. So basically just extreme tiredness. I would literally nap 4 till 5 p.m. And that's what got me through my first trimester. And that's the good thing about working from home, because at least you don't have the commute. And then extreme hunger. Oh my, literally. I was having 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and then like sometimes and then dinner and lots of snacking after dinner. I was just so hungry. Thankfully, my mum was round, so she would like help make me lots of food. And then also Tunda was really helpful in like supporting my second breakfast. 5 big meals, so to speak, a day, and I was still hungry. And even that, I wouldn't say it was a negative kind of symptom, because food's good anyway. Like I love food, so it wasn't really like a negative like sort of symptom, I suppose. And the second trimester was just mainly when the cravings kicked in, so I had like lots of cravings. And then third trimester, sleepy, that was the biggest one. Obviously I've mentioned for about sort of from week 36 that quickly switched up, but generally throughout my third trimester I just started to feel really sleepy. I would be like in a meeting and then I would start to feel a bit sleepy, so I had to really make sure like I was keeping myself awake and engaged. As soon as I had my lunch, I just wanted to sleep. Like, and I was working from home, so half the time I would just like take a little mini nap, and it wasn't even intentional. I would literally just find myself napping because I was just so sleepy, and that was the main sort of third trimester symptom. Yeah, and then from week 36 onwards, that's when I started to get the finger lips at night, like swollen feet, ankles. Furthermore, I was also getting really like painful legs here and there. And my legs would just be really painful. How is it second time round? Did you cope? How do you cope having a toddler whilst pregnant? Honestly, me that was determined to have our children 2 years apart in age, so that when they grow up they can be like just 2 years difference, because that's what I had, and I just like it really, and I think it's anyway. Long story short, we literally had a 1-year-old throughout my pregnancy, so proper toddler, with toddler needs. Toddlers need obviously however many meals a day, and furthermore they need obviously attention and just playing with them and so forth. So being able to having a toddler and then being pregnant, to be fair, I think was a bit of a challenge. But I think that probably explains why most of my pregnancy symptoms were to do with probably being extremely tired and sleepy, because it was probably the added weight of like my toddler. Otherwise, to be fair, it wasn't that bad because she was in nursery. So it was just mainly, and I'll be completely honest, my husband was really hands on with well, he's a hands-on dad anyway, which is really good. Like Ariel, he was like really helpful. I don't think I could have done it without his help, honestly. Toddler and pregnancy without his help, I'm not even gonna. It's a non-starter, really. I don't even know how I would have done it. So I think, and also to be fair, I think the hardest part is probably working full time and having a toddler and being pregnant. But I think having a toddler and not working full time, probably a lot easier. But working full time, that was quite tiring, I won't lie. So I think that's why I was feeling sleepy a lot. I mean, we've had a bit of a sleep regression, but that's another story for another day. But generally she's a good sleeper. So that helped as well. So at least I was still getting my sleep at night. And then yeah. But so far I think, if you're thinking of doing it, do it. Like honestly. And I hope it goes just as well for you as well. And just, I said, like, just try carve out time to rest, like tonight, and, keep it moving. All in all, it was just God's grace, honestly. Like, God is so faithful. And, like, throughout my whole pregnancy, He was so faithful. How long was it when you went back to work and found out you were pregnant again? Ooh. Anyway, long story short, I went back to work in April, and I must have found out I was pregnant either end of April or beginning of May. I went back to work. I went back to work after maternity leave. So obviously I had Ariel, had 14 months off. Went back to work after maternity leave, in April. But what's wild about it was at the beginning of the year, I was thinking, oh, is this the year where I either get some sort of promotion at my current workplace, where I was then, or is this the year where I finally move on to a different company? So I set out my goals on what I was expecting for the year. So what was quite wild was actually trying to make that decision finally to actually move jobs. So going back to work pregnant or whatever, that didn't really bother me because I knew either way I wanted to get pregnant in 2022, so that didn't really bother me. It was just more so trying to decide if to change jobs while pregnant. But I did it, and I'm really glad I did it actually, because I learned so much through that process. But I'm gonna run through these questions really quickly. Will I miss being pregnant? I think so. I actually think I will. I'll miss having the bump. Like, oh my gosh, guys, pregnancy and me, we agree. Like, we actually really agree. Like, I just feel like my body was made for it, and I had such beautiful pregnancies. So I think I'll miss it. I loved the bump. Oh my gosh, like I just loved having a bump. Like I was like bump obsessed. Like I just loved how my body just transformed and changed and held a bump. Like like yeah. So basically, I think I'll miss the bump. Will I miss pregnancy? Probably not. Probably not. But I'll miss having a bump. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Like I just feel like there's something so cool about having the bump, like a pregnancy bump, and dressing a pregnancy bump. So I definitely will miss a pregnancy bump, especially because I'm thinking I just want two kids. So I'm like, ooh, I'll really, really miss it. So I really did try to soak it all in this time around and just yeah, just treasure it because yeah, I love the bump. I don't know why. I just anyway. I think I've said it enough. I don't. I think I must have said bump about 40 times just then. So I probably will miss it. And the fact that my pregnancy was so bliss, like it was just like, oof. But the last 2 weeks, as I said, because baby was born at 38 weeks, and then from 36 weeks, as I said before, the symptoms were just like wild. And I was literally having a bath pretty much every day from 36 weeks to 38 weeks because I was in a lot of pain. I was just uncomfortable. Oh. So the last 2 weeks of pregnancy, will I miss them? No. Is that enough to scar me? Probably not. Did I get stretch marks? So I would actually have shown you my tummy, but I'm actually wearing a bodysuit. Maybe next time. But basically, no, I didn't get a single stretch mark. Like both with Ariel and with baby, um, with my with my latest pregnancy, I had not a single stretch mark. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here and say to you, use this product, do that, because I actually just think it's probably genetics. One thing that I did do to make sure I definitely didn't get stretch marks or to help anyway my skin was I literally applied tons and abundance of coconut oil on my tummy and my body throughout pregnancy. So every morning, once I'd showered, I would literally put coconut oil on, and then and also in the evening, if I had a shower in the evening or a bath or anything, I would literally lather myself with coconut oil. What would I do differently? I would definitely eat a little bit healthier. Too much sugar. So I think that's probably the only thing I do differently. With Ariel, I ate really, really, really healthy. So I actually did feel quite guilty this pregnancy because I wasn't eating as healthy as I did with Ariel. Um, but it was balanced, but it just wasn't as healthy as Ariel. Like with Ariel, I had literally zero fizzy, zero juice. I think I only had like what I would say like maybe a carton of cranberry juice throughout the whole pregnancy and just water. That was it. I was really disciplined with Ariel's pregnancy. But with baby, I did have quite a lot of juice, but obviously like making sure it was 100% fruit juice, freshly squeezed, freshly pressed, all of that stuff. And then I also had obviously said a lot of sugar in terms of biscuits and cakes. So maybe just be a little bit healthier if that's a thing, but and have more fruits and stuff. I said I was really on the ball. I think there's I have to say, first pregnancy and second pregnancy, the main difference actually, I don't know if I had a question about that. But anyway, I think the main difference, I think I did. I remember seeing that. So I think the main difference between sort of first and second pregnancy, I would say, is definitely first pregnancy goes so slow. I was constantly looking on the app. Oh, baby's the size of an orange. Baby's the size of this. Blah blah blah. And you just completely like obsessed over the pregnancy. Second pregnancy, I don't know if it was busy with the toddler or what. I barely went on the app. I think I went on the app maybe like 4 or 5 times. Was I was on the app every day last time and on the forums and all that stuff. And equally, yeah, it just goes. It's just funny. You just don't pay too much attention to it, and you're like, oh wow, we're nearly due now. Whereas first pregnancy, you literally like, oh. I'm 20 weeks today and stuff. Like you literally marking every week, every day. So I have to say that's a major difference. But it's exciting though. I think it's exciting that in the first pregnancy, you're like consumed by like, oh, what size of baby? What's baby doing? What? Oh, like I think in the first pregnancy, I knew when the week when Ariel was able to like hear. Like, I just knew every single thing that she was doing every week. I was like, second baby, I was like, baby will grow. Baby's growing. I wasn't concerned if she was the size of a watermelon or grapes or banana or you name it. I was just like, baby's growing. I can feel the movements. I can feel the kicks, and that's all that mattered. So yeah, it's so different. It's so funny. I kept laughing at the difference. I was like, do I care less? But it's not. I think it's just because you're so much more busy and you know what to expect. What surprised me most about pregnancy, I think what surprised me most about pregnancy was how well my body coped, how well my body grew my children. What's so funny is both my babies were quite big babies, and you guys know I've got quite a small frame. It's funny, even the midwives in the obstetrician were like, "Where are you hiding these babies?" Because it's a small frame. My bumps were not crazy big, but they were like really good sized babies. Both of them, both were growing really well. Like I was just impressed by my body. I'll have to say, I was impressed that my body was able to just carry my pregnancies so gracefully, and I had that cute bump for both. I love a bump. I love a pregnancy bump, honestly. Like anyway, so yeah, I think I was most impressed by how smooth it was. I was expecting all this morning sickness, all this constant sickness, and I'm just so grateful that wasn't like part of my story. And I fully acknowledge that everyone goes through different symptoms, everyone goes through different pregnancies, different labours and deliveries, different everything. So I just have to sort of count a blessing in that sense that both my pregnancies surprised me in the sense of that they came with so much ease. Also, what surprised me was how quickly I snapped back on both pregnancies. Like now, as I said, I'm like literally just a few weeks post birth, and bump. I do miss bump though, but I'm happy that my body is going back to its original sort of frame. So yeah, I think that also surprised me, just how quickly my body recovered after having babies. Also how graceful it handled pregnancy in a sense of like, I don't know if graceful is the right word, but just how much ease pregnancy was for me. It was just it was a breeze, honestly. It was actually a breeze, and I absolutely love being pregnant, and I'm just so grateful to God I was able to experience two beautiful pregnancies. How does it feel to be a mother of two? Oh, it feels great. So far, I'm just still getting used to the fact that I'm not sleeping much. But I knew what I was getting into. I've done this before, so it is well. It's well, and and I'm looking forward, obviously, to 6 months when I get back to sleeping my 8 hour sleep. But obviously, I'm not trying to wish time away. I know that from 6 months we'll be in a more routine, because personally, I don't do any routines prior to 6 months. Not really like any proper routines. I just let baby be, and baby rules me. Baby is a ruler. At 6 months, that's when I start parenting, so to speak, parenting, quote unquote. As in, that's when I actually begin to set routines and sleep routines and so forth. So with Ariel, she was sleep trained at 6 months, and we were sleeping through the night since then. So we'll probably do something similar. We're going to try a different method this time, I think. But either way, in 6 months, we're enforcing some routine. Otherwise, I love it. Ariel absolutely adores her little sibling. And honestly, it's just beautiful to watch them grow and to watch them. It warms my heart, and I look forward to when they can be like little friends. I guess when baby is like one, maybe they can start playing together. I guess so that would be nice. They can chase each other around and do whatever. And I know it in my soul that Ariel's gonna be an amazing big sister, because she's just the sweetest, most caring and loving little girl, and she's anyway. I'm just so proud of her, honestly. Like, I'm really proud of her, and I could go on and on about my daughter. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I go on and on about my daughter. I'm just so I don't know why I even feel a bit teary now. I'm just so proud of her, and I just feel so blessed to have her. And then to think that I've actually got another baby now who I equally love, it's just mind blowing, honestly. But basically, my love for them is just huge, and I'm just so in love with them both. And I just feel it's weird. I didn't know I'd feel teary in this video, but I just feel extremely blessed. But on that note, I'm gonna stop the video here. Pregnancy, women are incredible beings. Like, honestly, women are incredible beings. But anyway, I'll leave the video there, and yeah, thank you for watching, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. But yeah, that's that. Bye.